The feeling we can say was like Kenitinatan Sinai, like it is giving from Mount Sinai. That's the kind of a feeling. The Torah that we will learn from Chacham Ovadia, Maran Rabbeinu Ovadia, Ateret Roshenu, Alav Shalom, was unbelievable. First of all, the amount of Torah that you learn from him on 1 hour of learning. Everybody knows his Beki'ut is all the entire Torah. So when you learn from someone, the entire Torah is like in front of him. When he says something to you, besides that you are confident that what he says is correct, because his phenomenal memory was tested so many times, he was not missing words, he was not missing Saif Katan, if he would say where it's located on a page. Sometimes he used to say which line from the bottom or which line from the top. Yeah.
All by heart.
All by heart. And word for word, quoting the Lashon, the language of the Shas and the Poskim and the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch. And if it was an argument, if Maran said in Shulchan Aruch, this word, how did Maran worded it? This word, he was definitely confident, tells you the language, the exact text, the way it's written, and you can go and check a million times, and he was always right. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Someone else, let's say another Rav was there, and the Rav says, I think Maran used a different word or a different terminology. No one ever won an argument like this with him. So that's one thing that you know, that everything he says is corrected and meduyak, precise. But also when he was teaching, not to abroad, a big crowd, big audience. When he was teaching in a small group, Talmidim that Bnei Yeshivot, Bnei Torah, Avrechim, so it was unlimited by the amount of the material that he would bring to the table, and also the complexity of the things. So that could be of like, let's say we'll talk an hour, for an example, on Melacha she'ena tzricha legufat. It's a topic on Halachot Shabbat. He will go throughout the whole Shas on this topic. And then Rishonim and contradicting poskim one to another and coming with answers and solutions. And the speed of his mind, I think faster than the speed of the light. It was so quick, so fast, so sharp. So he was younger, obviously, when I was learning by him. Younger, where the videos are nowadays, the videos that publicized, he is 80 years old. He's about 70s, 80, 90 years old, yeah, was then when they filmed him. But before the film, before Shas, before this big popularity, yeah, you're saying popularity, that's another issue, because when I was learning by him, he wasn't that popular among among all communities. Some Ashkenaz didn't know him, especially Bnei Brak people. In Yerushalayim, most Gdolei Yerushalayim, Ashkenaz Gdolei Yerushalayim knew him and they admired him, they respected him very much. But others who lived far away and didn't know him, they just heard about him from news or from people. So they had different ashkafa. It wasn't so easy. Everybody knows the Ter Mechira when it came to Shemitah, let's say. That was a very, very sensitive issue to the Bnei Brak Rabbanim, because the Chazon Ish and Stipler, they were very strong on keeping Shemitah. And for them, doing the Ter Mechira was Chazon Ish for Tzitzur Lo Techolem, Tzitzur Deoraita. Even Ovadia was sticking up to the poskim. He didn't make up the Eter. The Eter was made 100 years ago, before Chazon Ish. It was made by Gdolei Dorot, Rabbi Shmuel Mohaliber, Rabbi Agron Mikotna, Rabbi Yosha Mikotna, Isa Bracha, Rishon LeTzion Isa Bracha, Rishon LeTzion HaMarpeh, Rabbi Rafael Meir Panigel, Gdolei Dorot, and the generations before the Chazon Ish. So he followed this poskim, and he wrote on the Ter Mechira. I think now it's printed in Yabiar Mechelekiyot, everybody can see it. I remember the shiurim he gave on that. I remember the shiurim. He didn't leave a corner that he didn't cover from from Bereshit until לעיני כל ישראל. The entire Torah he went through in every sugya he was not leaving anything not resolved, any question with no answer. But that was a big controversial topic, and they hated him for that. And maybe the Shem Shamayim. I'm not saying they wanted everybody to keep Shemitah. He knew it's not realistic. There's so many not from people, they're not going to keep Shemitah. They're going to keep working on Shemitah. You can provide to the whole community in Eretz Israel if everybody's going to keep Shemitah. He was realistic. He knew the situation, and he understood it. And there is this heter mechira, it's a very solid heter. And he said it like this. I remember, I wish every psak I would give would be so clear and so obvious to me like this psak.
Wow.
And just to give you an example of his personality, so I remember where people used to tell him, Talmidim saying, Kvod Harav, but why we need to publicize it? Why we need to talk about it? Let's hide it. All these gdolim and all these rabbanim are so against it, and then they fight you so badly on the newspapers. You cannot imagine, from newspapers, but he used to write those days. That was
against Ovadia, Yosef.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, those days. I used to cry. I used to read. So I didn't read newspapers, but when it came to my hand and I saw those from newspaper, I would cry. This is my Rav, and I know his Yirat Shamayim, and I know his love to Torah and his love to Hashem and his fear of Hashem and his knowledge in Torah, and the way they put him down, like you wouldn't talk to a Rabbi in first grade like this. It was so hard to see. They didn't know him. Obviously, they didn't know him. But we asked him, Kvod Harav, so let's keep it quiet. He said, לא תגור מפני איש. לא תאגור דבריך מפני איש. The Torah commands us not to hide our opinions. If I know that's the truth, if I went through all the sugiyot, all the poskim, and I know that's the emet, that's the truth, I must say it. And it doesn't matter the price cost that I'm going to take personally, that people are not going to respect me because of it, or not going to listen to me because of it. That's not coming into my calculations. I'm not saying what's going to be popular to people. You mentioned the word popular. That's where it came to my memory, all these stories. He didn't look at popular, what's going to make him popular, what's going to make him, as opposed to, you see, nowadays, it's everybody's looking, what topic is going to make me popular? What should I say in order to become popular? Yeah, that's what's in the back of the mind of many people. But he was the opposite person. He was the person of emet, a man of truth, a man of honesty of Torah. If this is the opinion of the Torah, he would say it, whether you like it or not.
Wow.
And that's also controversial terminologies that he used to use against certain politicians later on, that even from Shas, the politicians from Shas didn't like it because it didn't give them popularity. Right. And in the voting,
they needed the votes.
They needed votes, and that's sending people away. But he said, "I'm telling the truth. No, I'm not going to back off. I'm not going to change it. That's the truth." If he thought someone is a rasha, he said it is a rasha.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's how about our Mציון Abba Shaul?
So that's the whole, very Chacham Mציון Alav Shalom. We used to call Chacham Mציון Urim Vetumim. Urim Vetumim because he had Chacham Ovadia also, but by Chacham Mציון, the difference maybe we can say between Chacham Ovadia and Chacham Mציון to us was that Chacham Mציon was more available. He wasn't the Rav of the whole Klal Israel. He was the Rav of the Yeshiva. Yeah. B'rat Yosef or the Talmidim where he gave the shiur. He wasn't running after it. He was there, he was available, and he was able to sit with you and answer your questions, and you were able to talk to him more. And he was like more on the level of a more, teacher, someone to teach you, and not just to teach you the material or to give you over the knowledge, to teach you how to analyze the sugya, how to understand the sugya, teach you to learn. That's Chacham Mציון Abba Shaul. So both of them giants. He's a giant in Torah, also Chacham Mציון Abba Shaul. But a different kind of a personality. Although they learned Havruta and they grew up in the same yeshiva, under the same umbrella, under the glory of Rabbeinu Azratia Alav Shalom. different personalities. Chacham Tzion was also his sharpness and depth of learning was above and beyond what this generation can imagine. I never met anyone like Chacham Tzion after Chacham Tzion. Should be very clear. And I learned by a lot of Ashkenaz Bigedolim, and I spoke with Divrei Torah with Bigedolim. I didn't meet anybody like Chacham Tzion Abba Shaul. That's his level of geonut, of geniuses. That's a whole different level. Yes, he was able to, let's say, on one vav in Rashi, he was able to be metaretz, answer 6 questions of Rishonim and Achronim. The diuk of one vav. Yeah, that's a whole different level. You don't see you don't see anything like this these days. That's something that our generation, this generation, the younger generation is missing. Not just missing because they don't have him, because they don't have this concept even. They never saw anybody in this kind of a level of depth of learning. So, and nowadays the generation, it's a speed up generation. Everything has to be on the spot. Immediately, it's a push of a button. If it doesn't come up right away, it's too slow, and it's a bad device, and everything has to be the speed of the light. And that's not how learning and growing in spirituality is. It takes time. Everything takes time. In olden days, in order to go from Bnei Brak to Yerushalayim, you ride in a donkey. Right. It takes you a few days to get to Yerushalayim. Patient. You develop patience. You understand that to get to the bottom of a Daf Gemara, to the bottom of the Sugya, it takes time. You don't get to the bottom of it so fast. So you develop, the whole nature was different. The whole life was different. But nowadays, that when it comes to materialism, and when it comes to the physical world, everything is fast and easy, and all of a sudden, when you flip the page and you go to learn, and you wanna have the same experience of Havaya, you don't have it. You don't have the same experience. You don't have the same feeling. You don't get the same results on the same speed.